You've already won at life. You've already won at life. You already won this human game of existence. You've won this physical existence. You've already won at everything. You won this vibrational game. You won this vibrational currency. You're playing this game differently than the rest now. You understand the laws of the universe. You understand how to situate yourself in the best type of reception. You understand now that all you want is just to be in the receptive mode of your source. All you want is to be in the replenishment mode. All you want is just to be in the vortex, and that's such an easy task. For you're pretty much there most of the time. You're there and during the span of a day, you're there you find yourself there. And it truly is the evolved human or the trained human who goes into the replenishment mode and then leaves the replenishment mode because of what is, and because of all the things that they have, the burdens that they have to carry, and then they go find the replenishment mode again because of their desire to feel good, and then they bring in all the problems, and then they leave the receiving mode, the replenishment mode, and then it just goes back and forth. So no real momentum happens because you're vibrating in two places at once. So during the span of a day, you're just vibrating in both places at once. No real momentum happens, and then nothing really good happens, nothing really bad happens. You're just sort of in like a mediocre, boring spot, and that's not the life that we came here to experience. We came here to really understand this life experience. We understood how to create anything that we wanted, and it's really interesting because when the real success that we're talking about is the joy of the journey, is the instant alignment, is the emotional manifestation, which is a fancy way of saying feeling better right now. If you can talk about why you want your desire, you notice that the reason why you want everything is to literally be in the replenishment mode. It's a feeling of the replenishment mode. Do you know what the replenishment mode feels like? It's that state that you're in when you do something that you enjoy doing. And so the focus of your body and the focus of your mind are joining, and there's no contradictory energy. So it's just a flow energy. It's like time loses its meaning. The hours fly by. You know how there's that human sentiment. It says when time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun because time becomes perceptual, and in that state of the replenishment mode, since you're just enjoying yourself so much, time ceases to exist, and then you exit, and then you come back into the real world where time is a factor again. But who cares about all that? That's what we're saying, is that it doesn't matter because you want the replenishment. Everything you want is for a feeling, but the feeling is so easy to have. And we know that seems kind of scary because what we're saying is that just be satisfied with wherever you are, because when you talk about why you want it, you can really realize that you already have so many of the pieces of what you want. So you have enough license to just chill out. And it's scary to our human friends because they're like, well, if I'm just satisfied all the time, then what about my manifestations? And we say, well, what about your manifestations? You say, well, if I'm not doing anything to go towards them, and we're like, yeah, see, there you go. Therein lies the faulty logic of humans. If I'm not going towards my desire, if I'm not banging into place, if I'm not reeling it into towards me, then am I really doing anything productive? And we're saying, where did that get backwards? What's so hard to understand that when you're feeling good, then naturally your life just unfolds in a really good feeling, in a feeling good way to match how you feel. Because it's a vibrational world. We talk about the laws of the universe, equal general. It's a vibrational world, and your emitting is what you're receiving at the same time. What you're emitting is what you're receiving, and what you're emitting, the vibration that you're emitting, that law of attraction is answering, because that's what the law of attraction does. It adds momentum to things that you're focusing on. Your emotions really tell you what you're about to manifest, and we say about to manifest because it will manifest if you don't do it. Add a contradictory energy to stop that thought. And before we get sidetracked, we just want to sell you on this replenishment mode. This replenishment mode is everything. But the thing is, you love the power of the replenishment mode. You want to go into the vortex, you want to go into the replenishment mode, and then you want to figure out, okay, now how can I make money off of this? Because you're in that very logical, very what is style of thinking, that really in the action, that's that word, action based, and it doesn't get you and net you really much, because we're trying to teach you what you want is a feeling, but you can have the feeling now. So in achieving the feeling now, you can be satisfied because you don't need the physical parts. But that scares humans because we're like, if I don't need the physical parts anymore, then what are my manifestations? So I just forget my manifestations. Is a message then to just give up on manifestation because they're not going to come. So just give up on it and go live in a cave somewhere and not want anything. And we're saying that's not what we're saying at all. What we're actually saying is that when you're satisfied right now, you're gonna inspire, you're gonna start to reach for more, because when you're in that place of boredom or satisfaction, you're in a place of low resistance, and then you can go up the emotional scale faster. You can hear your inner beings calling, and then you'll get inspired to do something. So you're never really bored. You're in satisfaction and something more. You're satisfied, and then more momentum happens. That's what happens in the replenishment mode. It's like you're a painter and all you want to do is paint, but we're telling you that the act of painting is more about the feeling you have when you're painting. It's not about the painting that you create. But since you're so, human minded and you're so action based, then you're trying to, sell your art. That's what happens when you do your hobbies as a living. You have this thing that you like to do, like painting, and then now you introduce things like money, and you introduce like shortage, and you introduce all these other beliefs that you have on all the other subjects. And so your hobby can net you. It can't propel you to those heights that you could if you just forgot about all those things. If you just realize the reason why you want money is to just paint. So we're like, why don't you just paint? Why don't you just paint? Well, don't I have to consider the market? Don't I have to consider what people want? Don't I have to, paint in a way where people can, where people, feel like they feel drawn to it? And we're like, well, you're imbuing your art with every vibrational, with your vibrational sounds while you're painting. And so people are picking up on that. So if you're picking up on the fact that, I'm going to do this so people can buy my art, then what are you really a match to? What are you really imbuing into your art? You're imbuing the fact that people don't want to buy your art. So you're trying to take action. But we're saying it's all for feeling. It's all for, you just want to be in the replenishment mode. And that's what we're trying to sell you on. You just want to be in the replenishment mode, and being in the replenishment mode is for the feeling. It's not for the manifestations. But we're not trying to say manifestations are bad. We're just trying to tell you that the manifestations are going to come, but the manifestations come on the heel of a lot of focus and very vibrational alignment. So let's say that again. Your manifestations are a natural byproduct of vibrational alignment with your desire. So it's natural. But by the time a manifestation happens, the juice of it is already over, because the fun of it really is in aligning your energies and molding, crafting the clay of your energy so that you can harmonize with your desire, and it does come. But these are all peak experience. It's like you're a filmmaker and you want to make films, and then you want the big prestigious awards, and so that's all you're just kind of going towards. What we're saying is that like that while you can still have your award, but why do you really want it? That's the thing that's so interesting, because we're trying to get you, sell you on the replenishment mode. Because when you're making movies, when you're thinking about your movies, when you're thinking about how, what shots are you going to use in your directing, when you're in that flow, you're in the replenishment mode, and that's what you really want. But the replenishment mode has nothing to do with the films. That's what's interesting, is that it's like when you're in that replenishment, you just can't help but make a movie. But it's more about the replenishment mode. Do you understand that? It's only about the replenishment mode. And so we're trying to sell you on that. We're trying to sell you on the fact that if you can find the replenishment mode, then you've won at life. You've won, because that feeling is what living is all about. And because there's no real other meaning than that. That's the thing that's so interesting about everything, is that humans, they want to become so complicated. They want to, like, there's something bigger than all this. And you're right, there is something bigger. And the biggerness of it all truly is that you're an extension of source, and you have this connection with source, and you have this relationship with source, more importantly. And this relationship with source is now. It's not later, it's not tomorrow. And your emotions are telling you about that, those emotions, because law of attraction is responding to both of you in your physical flesh body and your inner being. So in law of attraction responding to both frequencies, then there truly is so much that you can experience if you were just to practice tuning your frequency. Because it's accurate to say that you just can't see what you want. You haven't, because of your beliefs, you haven't achieved a vibrational frequency that will let you translate what's on that radio signal, what's on that channel. That's more accurate than to say, like, I'm waiting for it, because you don't need to be patient. You need to be satisfied. You don't need to be patient. You need to be satisfied, because in satisfaction, you have the prize. And we know that sounds crazy, because you're like, it kind of scares you, because you're like, well, all I know is striving. All I know is hard work. So if I'm just satisfied, then I feel like I'm not doing anything for my desires. And we're like, yeah, you gotta get over that exchanging something for something vibe. It's not it. It's just not it, because you can have it all. You don't need to exchange anything. You're exchanging energy. You're exchanging your vibrational alignment, but you're not exchanging anything. You're really exchanging you're just using the laws of the universe to your advantage. And here's the thing, people don't know this. You can't walk around, you truly run the risk of being crazy. When people are striving and they're making goals, and while making goals are not a bad thing, they're just mainly making goals from a place of being dissatisfied where they are. But it's natural to be dissatisfied about where you are. And the reason why we say it's natural is because when you're used to manifestations being the reason why you feel good, and you're waiting your whole life for manifestations that will make you feel good, and then they don't ever come, and you never ever feel good in the meantime, then it makes sense that you're dissatisfied with where you are, because the manifestation is the full enchilada. It's the full joy of everything. It's a prize. But what we're saying is that the manifestation is not the prize you think it is, because when it comes, it's like a peak experience. It's fast and it finishes soon, but we're not saying it's a bad thing. We're just telling you how it really is. We're trying to reorient you to become vibrational, so that you can have everything that you want, but have it in a way that's sustainable. This truly is the path to everything that you want. The replenishment mode is the path to everything that you want. To reiterate it again, there's vortex where everything that you want is. And the reason why you want all of your desires is because you think you're going to feel better in having it. But what if you can achieve the feeling before you have it? Then by human standards, you still don't have it though. But we're saying by vibrational standards, and you've achieved vibrational harmony with your desire, and you get the prize of feeling good now, which is what you really want. And if you can be satisfied with that prize of like, yeah, I don't have it yet, I don't see it yet, but I have the vibrational evidence of it, I have the emotion of it, like I'm so satisfied with the emotion of it, then it has to come. It has to come. It's like feeling it a little bit more before you see it. It has to come. And it's coming. For example, like when you're that filmmaker and you want the awards are going to come. They're going to come on the heels of your alignment with your work, of course. But when they come, it's going to be like a peak experience. It's going to come and it's going to go. It's not bad. It's just there's more to the equation than you want, because like you said, it's all about the replenishment mode. That's what everyone wants. That's what everyone wants, to do what they love as a living. They want to exchange what they love for money because it feels effortless, because it's the replenishment mode. Because when you're in the replenishment mode, it feels like effortless. Like if you're a creator, if you're an artist and you understand this, you understand the flow state, you understand what it feels like to have that like flow flowing right through you. And when it's not there, because when it's there, it's easy to write or to paint or to sing. And when it's not there, it feels like pushing a noodle. What we're saying is that like that's kind of how everything is like that understanding. The replenishment mode, it's so easy. All of this is so easy. And like we were saying earlier, you can't go around and talk about this with people, because they will literally, you run the risk of looking crazy, because to them they're manifestation oriented, but we're trying to get you to become emotional oriented, because that's who you truly are. You're truly an unconditional being. You're the creator, but you're creating yourself. That's your biggest creation, and then everything else is the byproduct of that creation, of that vibrational field, atmosphere, vibe, you know. And so while you are running the risk of being crazy, but our whole thing is like, it doesn't really matter what anyone thinks about you anyways. It only matters about what you think about you, and what you think about what they think about you. It's about your perspective of their perspective, because your guidance system is not your guidance system is between you and your inner being. And we're like, your satisfaction factor then is between you and your inner being. So it doesn't matter what they think about you, because they're not your inner being. Their people are not your guidance system. You have your own individual guidance system. And that guidance system, we talk a lot about it, but that guidance system is going to take you everywhere you want to go. And so be satisfied with where you stand. Be satisfied and really enjoy the path, because this path is truly it. This is it. This is why you came. But the reason why you came it is for the awards, and it is for the money, and it is for all the manifestation. It's for all the fun things. And when you're in a place of satisfaction, now when you think about all those desires, then you're gonna have a lot of fun. The things are gonna really move, but the manifestations are just not the prize. You want to walk around here satisfied. When people ask you, how's your life going? You're like, I'm just so satisfied. Everything's going so well for me. I'm living everything that I want. And they ask you like, well, where's your money? How come you still live in the same house that I seen you in last time? And you tell them, and like I said, you run the risk of being crazy, but you don't actually have to say it. But you just tell them, like, I have the vibrational version of everything. I'm so satisfied with the feeling, because that's why I want everything. And I'm not begging for manifestations anymore. I'm not desperate for manifestations anymore. I'm a creator, and I can have whatever I want. But and having everything that I want it's so much more easier than I ever thought it was. It's just a feeling. It's all for the emotion. It's all for the vibrational deliciousness of tuning into my source. It's all about me and source being connected in this now moment, and finding any excuse to facilitate that connection. And when there is an excuse, to find one, to create one, to use the power of my focus for appreciation, to do whatever I can to, because that's what I really want. That's the true prize. That's why you want all your desires, is to literally be connected to source. And if you're connecting to source, you've won. You won this life experience. You did it. You understand the laws of the universe. You're good. You're complete. You can go on now and have an eternal life experience. And now you get it. The path really is fun, because everything, the manifestations are all just peak experience. And if the peak experiences are all that you're looking for, you don't really get there. You prolong your happiness. You get bored. When you finally get them, you realize that they're not the prize, because they only last for a second. The universe needs to expand. You need to expand. And life is going to just be really fun for all of us. And it is fun right now. And this is it. This is the joy of everything. And it's either you're feeling good right now in this moment or not. There's no true big mystery to the world. It's just, are you feeling good right now or not? But that in itself is truly something that's so sophisticated, and so the art of allowing, that it really takes someone who not only is advanced, but someone who really gets the laws of the universe to let go and understand that it's not about the manifestations anymore. It's about how you feel right now, because that is the prize. And when you win that prize, you've won at life.